So it's March 22nd, and there's not much snow left here, is there? What a beautiful afternoon. This is the other end of Rizzers Beach, and that's Petite Riviere. It's still pretty chilly, but at least it looks like summer. It is such a calm afternoon, gentle little waves. Hi, it's Vaughan. Bill Wright just sent me 3 new tools in the mail. Thank you very much, Bill. I'm going to review them and see what they can do. He said the end and the side are now the same size and sharpened on those 2 sides. So there's the one at an angle. I'm not sure if you can see anything there, but... And then he sent me a square-ended one. I just tried using them the other day, so they have been used already. So I'm not going to make a fool of myself. And then there's a rounded one. So that's just a short rounded edge there. And they did work very well. So I'm going to show you. The difference, of course, is when you get the other ones, it's a much longer side. This is one of the other ones he sent me a while back. And this is really one of my favorite tools, that one. And some of the other ones, but basically the side sharpened area is like twice the size of the end. This is one of the other ones, the older ones too. So you see the side piece is much longer. So these ones are much shorter. So we'll see what they can do. When I'm actually doing a bowl like this, if you use those pads on the rim down there, you have a good chance of cracking it. And so I prefer to use, even though it would work just using those pads, I actually prefer to use the little arms that grip a little higher up. And that's why this Giffing grip is pretty useful for this, because the actual pads don't touch when the little arms go in. So you've got to... It's still a little vulnerable, so you could even go higher up again, because when you press on the edges, it'll just crack the rim. So you have to make that decision whether you want to risk it. But and I'm saying that's a bit low, just because these bowls are fairly, not totally dry, but they're getting pretty firm. And pottery tends to crack much easier when it's in that stage just before it's totally dry. And we always hate that feeling. You can, if you're holding a bowl and you can feel you put pressure on it, and suddenly get this little tick kind of sound, and you think, oh, I just cracked the bowl. Anyway, the arms now are up higher, so I don't think they're putting any pressure on that rim where it's vulnerable. There we go, centered straight away. So I'm just going to trim it. I like to put tall feet on my bowls. Actually, just leave a good centimeter thick when you throw a bowl, and that way you can, and you don't open it up very wide, and then you can get this narrower foot, if that's something you would like to do too. And I also have, Bill sent me these really sharp trimming tools. I'm not sure if I think I put these in a video already. But anyway, for dry clay, these are really good. This isn't totally dry clay, but these are super sharp. So let's have a go with this one. You're supposed to hold it in a little bit, so instead of it's at right angle like that, because then it would catch and pull the tool around with it. You sort of go at an angle, maybe 30 degrees or something, and choose your speed that you want to go. The slower you go, the deeper the mark. to stop just there. So it even pulled just a second then. But anyway, I'm going to try again. You'll get a feel for it. When I first did this, I was catching and it was dragging a lot. Now I know that I've got to be a little sensitive to how much pressure I put on. Can you get down in? Let's see if I can get you even closer here. All right. So let's go a bit more on that place. Okay, so we got what I call a texture there. Now if I hold a corner in, being careful not to cut right through the piece. I've discovered you can make that kind of line that I do with the other tool. Now let's have a go. Can I? Yeah, I think I'm just going to get the side in there now. Now it's trimming there, so let's. You just got to get the angle right. There we go. So we got 3 marks with the one tool and all that. So we got that little, even the other side, because he sharpened the other side too. So we got another side that we could try here. So there's actually 3 edges. Yep. So one tool, 4 marks, 3 sides plus the point edge that you can get with that one tool. Let's. I should probably try another ball, but let's go with this one has that angled cut there. I'll show you just this. This got the angled cut. Let's go in here, down here. Nice. Let's see. It's got the other swat sharpen there. So let's go the other direction, because that's all pointing sort of that way. Now we're going to go the other direction. Yep, that's a different mark again. So there's so many different ways you can do this. And that's got just about everything in there. Bill also sent me 2 new tools, because I use my edge of my trimming, one of my trimming tools, to make lines. Well, he sent me these 2 tools, which have a little, a V-shaped groove at the end, so you can actually trim out a line. One's a bit wider than the other. So in between all these, I can make single or double lines or triple lines, whatever I want to do. So we've got that, and it's been sharpened too, so it's very sharp together. You could probably cut right through if you wanted to. I could do the same at the top here, just to define where the chattering is actually starting up there. And if I wanted to, we can now go into all these areas and do another one to define the separate the areas basically that I just did marks. It's very sharp. So we've got those lines, and then you do need to brush off. Let's find a little brush here. All the debris. This brush is falling apart. Look at all the hairs falling out of it. Boy, I've had this brush probably 10-15 years, so I won't be using that with liquid anymore. And then I always put my hand over it just to soften the marks a little bit, so you don't get any sharp areas. But anyway, that's quite a few more. Okay, this is now the rounded tool. So I'm going to try different speeds here just to see if we can get a pattern rather than a texture, and at different speeds. So let's get it going just fairly slow. And there we get a nice pattern of marks. That's getting a bit faster because it's getting bigger circumference now going below, so we increase the speed. We might end up with the same type of mark pattern anyway. Yep, similar mark pattern because of the... It's a bit closer together though, so I would say that's like that planishing thing that I used to do on copper when I was a sculptor. But anyway, here we've got full speed. See what we get. I would say we've now got a very sharp-edged mark. This was a sort of oval, rounded mark, and this was less oval, and then we went to a sharper mark. But what's interesting about this one is you've got a gap in the center, like a little diamond. Totally an accident, because I didn't do that on purpose. So it's almost like it's a circle of marks around it. So that's kind of nice. It created its own little pattern. So we know we can get three things with that. And I didn't use the side, and we've run out of space there, so let's just refine this pattern by using the other tool, this one, and see what we can get by putting this in between. Got to get that to touch just in the right place. We'll go to middle speed. So we've got little vertical lines in there. But so I've got to judge where to put the tool. And there we go. More vertical little lines. Okay, so I had a disruption there, the phone rang. So let's go with the, and we did that mark before. Can't get down to there for that one, so it's gonna have to be that one again. See how easy they start chattering? That's a nice mark just to finish up there. Don't want to go overboard. And here's the other one of those tools. This is the line maker. Hitting the arm. Put a couple of double lines in there. And this is the edge of that gone. And then I want right at the top there. Could do a 2-1 there too. Let's get my brush that's falling apart. Funny, these things are, some of these brushes are so old, but everything has a time limit. Yeah, it's nice. So we've got 1, 2, 3, there's another one there, 4, and then 5 and 6, and then the lines in between. So it's a lot of different patterns just from 2 tools there basically. I'm going to try the curved tool again, using the side instead of the, and I'm going to go from a sort of a straight on almost to a right angle from the bowl. So let's see what happens as I go down. We'll get it at a medium speed. Trimming. So we see what this can do. Oh wow, yeah. So in other words, I was basically holding it almost straight on, so you wouldn't get anything, you're just getting a line, which is what happened there. Then I rotating it down like that, all the way till it was at right angles down here. So you'd got different shapes of marks all the way down. And I think that looks quite nice. Never done before. Let's see. Anyway, and I like to finish things up, so I'm going to use this one. Oh, that's the old tool. Where's the new one? I'm going to go with this one to finish that thing at the bottom down there. That one actually, it's almost like the cuneiform language when I see that mark down there. But and then of course we could see what we'll do if we use the pinpoint. So it's almost like creating a line, but it defines that edge a little bit there. Can I get this without hitting the tool? No, I'm going to hit the arms there a little bit. And the rest I don't need to do anything, I don't think. But I could use this to identify whereabouts would I do. You've got lines there, so let's go there. That'll help define that, because you had lines going in that area, so I just put a finishing line to kind of define that point. And we could put a line down there right at the bottom. And I could even identify that one a little better as well. And nothing in the middle, I don't think. So that's just that's the point with these tools. I think that I can keep working on this for hours and just find new ways of using them. And so if you like these tools, it's Bill Wright, and it's artisanpotterytools.com. So just go in onto the web and look up artisanpotterytools.com and mention VS2 and he gives you a discount because you're watching my video. All right, okay, that way you can identify where he's getting his best exposure, I suppose. Anyway, thank you, Bill. They're nice tools. Okay, I took the arms off my there's a gouge down there. I took the arms off my Giffing grip so I can trim a little bit further down. So this is that curved trimming tool from Bill Wright. It's super sharp. This clay is about just, I would say, shy of leather hard, because there's a little softness in the clay still. But if you hold the tool just right, there's not much of a bump there anyway, but I'm just going to hold it tight so I can make that even rounder. I like to have that big foot. Now that's deep enough so I can actually get in a nice bit of glaze on there. Let's just lower that down a bit too. I always feel in the center to see if it gives any more. I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on there and it's not giving, so I know I've still got some thickness there in the bowl. So, again, just give myself a line there. I don't know why I like to see that little extra line just in the inside of the foot there. And then we've got a whole surface to play with. Now, what I did with that rounded tool I'm going to do with this tool here. Let's see, it's sharpened. So I started with a line like that, and then it didn't do anything but trim, so it'll probably do that here. And then by the time I get down there, well, actually, then I'm going to hit the thing there. So I'm going to start it with this way, because then I can get all the way to the bottom. So we should end up with lines. So I'm just simply going to roll the tool. So it's trimming. Starting to vibrate. Stop there. So what did we get? So we started with lines. As the tool's rotating, you start to get some little cutting, chattering marks, which gradually get longer and bigger and down there, and then they start to form the squarish cut mark as they go right to the bottom. So that's just one tool, just rolling it down. And then we'll finish up with a couple of lines, which don't show up much there because that's what they are. And then at the bottom here, I'll put the lines. So, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Just the way the lines from one tool, just rolling it, you can change the shape of the cut. Okay, the last of these tools is the square-edged one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start like this, and then I'm going to roll it all the way down. So let's go medium speed. There you go, that's a good speed. Oh, it started vibrating straight away. What does it look like? Wow. Yeah, that was a surprise because it actually started vibrating up there where the other tool sort of didn't. And you've got sort of vertical lines going down in this location. They're not straight, obviously, but that means it was vibrating in a sort of very distinct pattern. Should I leave it or should I go again? I think it's going to be left. I think we'll just allow that to be the way it is, and then put a final little thing that I always seem to like doing at the bottom there. It just finishes the edge. And I could do it up there, I suppose, since there's not too much going on there. Yep, that defined that edge. And then we'll put a line in. Maybe we should do a double line. I could even do that right there, but I don't think it needs it on this board. Yeah, taking the arms off the gifting grip gives me an ability to do the whole thing. This brush is just totally falling apart. I bought a set of these probably, well, when I was in Columbus, Ohio, so that's pre-1994. Shows you how old these brushes are. So I guess I shouldn't be saying goodbye with too sad a voice. It's worked well for about 30 years. There you go. You can see what it did. Okay. Okay, I'm going to use the square-ended tool again, and instead of using that part of it, I'm going to use this part of it and see what it does as I rotate it down again. Starting to vibrate straight away. Oh, there's a change. See what we got. Wow. These are really tiny dots down there. Started off with some lines and then started digging in, and then we started creating dots, gradually decreasing in size as we went down. So I don't know if that's worth going at it again or not. I think we could definitely improve the patterning. So let's see. We'll go like this thing up here a bit more. What did that do? Yeah, we got the deeper lines there. Now I'm going to try hitting with just the edge, the corner. Yep, there's a definite mark there. This area wasn't so bad, so I might just leave that and then start a line here and see what happens. It was bouncing around then. So I actually rolled the tool like that to see what I could do there, because it was catching the corner there and then eventually catching the corner there. But I don't think the corner actually caught enough, so let's go back just there. And then we create that kind of linear, the top and above and below there, and then we can go with the little dots that we created that were quite mild. I mean, hardly visible, I think, once the glaze gets on there. So let's get ourselves some definition. I think that's all. Well, I could go with one just here. Yep. So I think that is a demonstration of what one tool can actually do. Not the paintbrush for sure, look at that. Bye! It's gone. It's my paintbrush. I won't be too sad. Anyway, it's a nice way of describing, mark making with one tool. But boy, there is just so many variations using these tools. So see which ones you like the best, I guess. And I'm just going to go get my bowler haircut.